an entire day, we told the customers of the Tom Leykis Show that there was no more WAP. What do you mean? I want to talk to the manager. Yes. Anyway, look at this email I received from a listener named Dalton. Dalton, how old is Dalton? What age is a guy named Dalton? Dalton writes in and says, here it is, I'm 25. And have been with about 15 to 20 women in my day. In my day, I'm 25. Way back in my day, I'd been with about 15, 20 women. His name is Dalton. Whether or not I'm wearing a condom with a woman, and I always do now because of what I'm about to tell you, almost every one of these women have asked me to, how am I going to say this? They've asked me to have an orgasm while I'm having sex with them without a condom. I'm not going to use the C word or the E word or the other words that he has down here. No. All right, so they ask him to, have sex with them without a condom and then complete the act in there. That's exactly what he's trying to say. Yeah. Well, we wouldn't use the word because that would be wrong. Yeah. So let's try reading the letter now with the proper sound. I'm 25 and I've been with about 15, 20 women in my day. Whether or not I'm wearing a condom with a woman, and I always do now because of what I'm about to tell you, almost every one of these women have asked me to in them. Whatever that is. You just have to decide what you think that is. He says, I'm not joking, Tom. These are women of all ages from 18 to 40, all races. All are attractive, intelligent, successful women, and they want me to do something dumb like that? What is it with these gals, Tom? Do they really want a baby? These are independent, successful women, and these situations are always a random hookup or a casual partner. Never a girlfriend or anything serious. I take your advice, he says. I've talked to a lot of my buddies about this, and almost all have run into this same thing. I'd love to see this as a part of one of your shows, and hear some women call in and explain what the hell is going through their heads when they say some crazy stuff like that. Thanks. All right, let's talk only to women and find out what this is all about. I happen to believe when a woman tells you not to use a condom, that is not because it feels so good, and that might be one of the many reasons, but I believe when a woman tells you not to use a condom, the primary reason is because she wants to have your baby. And what would follow, of course, was she doesn't just want to have your baby, because there is artificial insemination, but you can't get a Petri dish to pay child support. So this is a cheap way to get inseminated, and then, of course, you get the benefit of 18 or more years of child support. That's what you get. I happen to believe that's the case. So I want to talk to women who say this to guys. Don't use a condom. Just go for it. Just go for it. I want to feel you. You know that line I always use on the air that women talk about? I want to feel you. Take that stinky thing off. I want to feel you. Ladies, I want to know what that means. I don't want any graphic answers to this question, by the way. That's not the idea of this hour. I'm just trying to find out whether you think it feels good, really, or whether it is what I suspect, and that is that you wouldn't mind having a baby. Either with this guy or with any guy or whatever. I happen to think that the vast majority of time when a woman says, I want to feel you, she wants to feel your wallet. That's what she wants to feel. So, ladies, all right, now is your chance to call in and answer this age-old question. I think men are all wondering what that really means. I mean, aren't these women worried about, you know, STDs, HIV, any of that stuff? Huh? Come on. Let's just look at that. They want a baby so badly they don't even think about that. I mean, don't you know, ladies, don't you know what happens when you don't use birth control? You might have a baby. So why would a woman ask a man to have sex without a condom? So this hour I'm going to talk only to women. I want to find out, what does it mean when a woman says, don't use a condom, just go for it?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
Guys look at sex the way we look at pizza. There's pizza for square pizza, round pizza. There's pizza from the old-fashioned mom-and-pop store. There's pizza from Pizza Hut. The way guys look at pizza is there's no bad pizza.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show. Anyone ever use horseradish as a sexual aid? Think about it. I think some women it's appropriate. You know what I mean? 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone. What? You're the one with the dirty mind. I didn't say anything. Talked about horseradish. 1-800-5800-TOM. All right, ladies, tell me right now what it is about women who say don't use a condom. I say it means they want to have a baby. Jamie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
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 Hello. I'll tell you what, Tom, it depends. I mean, for women who say that, it's just like for men who say, you know, I want to take the condom off. Because I've heard men say it just as much as
I don't think it's the same. I don't think it's the same when men say it. I didn't say men don't say it.
No.
I'm strictly saying that when women say it, it's not because of the way it feels. It's because they want to have a baby.
Yes, that's what you're saying. And I'm calling in to tell you otherwise.
Are you telling me that men want to have babies?
Sometimes. I mean, you know, some guys do. I mean... Well,
sure, some guys are Sean Kemp, and some guys are, you know, fine. But
here's my point, Tom.
The question is not about guys. The question... Oh, look, I'm not disagreeing with that. This is not a debate about whether guys do it, too.
No.
I'm asking so that guys... No, it's not. I'm asking so guys can learn what it means when a woman says, take that... Hey!
I'm sorry. You know, it depends what the situation is. It's like...
I'm just talking in general. Look, I know there are exceptions. In general.
I would say, in general, most of my girlfriends that are women don't want to have a baby if the guy doesn't want to either. I know all women aren't like that, but I will speak.
But what do they think is going to happen if the guys take the condom off?
No. If she's on birth control, most women are on birth control now.
Most women are. I want to tell you something, dear. I don't know. Your friends probably all do the same thing you do, but you don't date women, and you don't know. I'm telling you. I have never seen so many women not using birth control as I am seeing the last 5 years. Well, I have never seen so many.
You know why? It's because it really messes.
I don't care what the reason is. Everybody has an explanation. I'm trying to tell you there's a lot more women doing what you're doing than you think.
I'm not doing it, Tom. I didn't say I was doing it. I'm calling in to help.
You said you're not using birth control.
No, I use other forms.
I'm talking. You're too impossible to talk to. You don't listen. You don't let me finish a sentence. Jesus. Why do I live alone? Why did I just buy a new home in the middle of nowhere? 20 acres. So I don't have to get within 20 acres of that. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Heather on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How you doing?
I'm okay, Heather.
Okay, well, I think it's a primal instinct for women to want to settle down, and it sounds like this caller, he says that it's generally women between 18 and 40 who are very successful and independent, which means they haven't settled down. They basically haven't had a family life, and I remember when I got married, the first thing that was on my mind is wanting to have children. I had like an itch, and I have friends who also, you know, got married, and they've already had a baby. And she's telling me her son's not even a year old, and she's having the itch to want to have another one. I think that is part of it, but I also think that when I was married, I had an allergy problem also with the condoms. It would irritate my skin. So I went on C-film, which is a contraceptive that you stick inside, and that kind of prevented pregnancies. But I actually did notice a better feeling, and I feel more connected. I felt more connected to my husband doing it without the condom. It's kind of, I don't know how to say it.
Oh, but that's your husband. We're talking about people who are dating.
But I was doing that with him when I was dating as well. I mean, we dated for 2 years before we got married. Of course, we were having sex before then, and so have all my other friends.
But your friends are like you. I want to talk about, in general, about women.
Well, I think it's primal. I think that it's primal. Women are built to have children. I think that we want to settle down. We want to have this kind of lifestyle, and eventually, you know, it just catches up.
But why do women assume that a man is going to marry them or stay with them just because they knocked them up on a one-night stand or on in a sexual, a sexual relationship?
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of, I can't explain why they would think that, but sometimes people think things like that.
I want to make this announcement, okay? If you believe you're out on a date with a guy and that if you get pregnant, the guy's going to stay with you, you're delusional.
Well, yeah, that might be the problem. They might be delusional. Maybe they're not. Maybe they feel like they found the right guy on the first date. Who knows? You know how people think. People do crazy things all the time.
I don't think a lot of women do think. Now, believe me, I know there's a lot of things that men do and they don't think either. But in this particular case, let's be reasonable. You meet a guy, I don't care how good he looks or how good the sex is. That doesn't mean he would make a good father or that he's a responsible individual. Chances are the better the sex is, the less likely it is he's the least bit responsible.
That's a possibility. But if these women are independent and successful, they must be crazy if they're trying to do that. I mean, there's no really other explanation other than it's a primal instinct and that they're wanting to settle down and have the lifestyle.
That's why I tell guys to always say no. When a woman says take off the condom, the answer is no.
So then that's what the guys need to do.
That's what they need to do, and that's why we're doing this hour. That's why I want them to do that. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Teresa on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Father.
Hello, dear.
So what you just said makes a whole lot of sense, and I think for me to dispute any of that would just take away from the generality of people. In general, I think that it's easier for a woman to say, oops, it was a mistake, or they think they can't get pregnant, or they're allergic, because exactly what your previous caller just said. They want to settle down, and they want it to happen by mistake. And the second part is, why do women do that? The same reason they bring home an alligator or a crocodile and complain when they get bit.
Well, because I think women do that with everything. I wasn't intending to have a drink, but, this guy offered to buy me a drink, then he offered me another one, and then one thing led to another, and suddenly I was in an apartment with my panties off. I don't know how I got there.
Because they don't want to take any responsibility, because you don't go have that drink and put yourself in that place if you don't expect the
And this goes back to a society, by the way. This goes back to a society where people believe the Virgin Mary had a baby.
Correct.
It goes all the way back that far. Women can't just say, I'm horny, I need it now.
I couldn't until I got into my 30s. Now I can.
I just wish women would just say that and stop with all the pretense.
Well, then they're a slut. And I think many of your callers have said that before. A guy is more attractive the more the woman says, let's just get it on. I really don't want a relationship.
God, I want a slut so badly. It hurts.
But you have to find a good girl slut.
No, she can be a bad girl. She can be with me tonight and my best friend tomorrow. It's perfectly okay.
Well, that does work for you.
It's worked for many years now. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Aubrey on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello. Yo.
I think that all women are spawned to Satan, and we just want to have as many babies as we can so we can get the most child support that we can, and yeah.
And would you include yourself in that category, or just?
Yes, I am. I am.
Really?
Yes, I'm 18 and I have 3 children, 3 different dads.
No, you don't. Now you're lying, and I know you're lying.
No, I'm not lying. I started when I was like 14, dude.
Come on, you're full of it. You know why I know that? Because if that were true, I'd hear a baby crying in the background. I've been doing this for a long time, dear.
There was the dads right now.
There was what?
There was the daddies right now. I just moved out here from Oklahoma.
Oh, stop it. You know, it's good try, but I've been doing this my whole life, dear. And it's not even true.
Well.
All right?
Yeah. All right, dude. Well, I was just letting you know that all women are spawned to Satan.
By the way, was that your boyfriend in the background who told you to call in and do this?
What?
Who was that, your boyfriend in the background who told you to call in?
No, I'm a lesbian.
Ah, okay. She's a lesbian. She has 3 kids by 3 different dads. Yeah. All over the road. I can spot a crank call at 50 paces. That's because I've made every crank call there is. I heard my red ant call on somebody else's show, by the way. The way to root any talk show, especially if it appeals to old people and it's on AM radio. Call in and ask the host if he has any idea how to get rid of red ants. The entire topic of the show will be changed at that point. Every old person will call in and report. Or call in and say you've got a cold and you're wondering if anybody has a good remedy. Or call in and say, call in from Southern California, any talk show on AM radio, and tell them you think you see snow flurries. Tell them where you are and that you're seeing snow flurries. I'm wondering if anybody else saw snow flurries.
I'll hang up and listen. Ira, I'm out here in Tarzana, and I'm seeing snowflakes, big, fat snowflakes, Ira. I'm wondering if anybody else has seen snowflakes. I'll hang up and listen. Maybe one of your listeners would know.
Oh, it's over. At that point. Show over. Who can ruin any show. And the best part about it is the host doesn't even know it's a prank phone call. Because it sounds like a legitimate comment that an old person would make. But it immediately changes the tenor and the topic of any show.
I'm calling from Manhattan Beach, and there's hail out here the size of golf balls. I'm wondering if anybody else has seen a hail. Maybe somebody can call in. Thank you, Ira.
Yeah. So when you try to make a crank call to this show, you're dealing with a pro here.
Love your show. I listen all the time. I have a question. I have a bit of a stuffy nose, and I was wondering when I... I'll hang up and listen.
That's it. Doesn't matter what the topic is. Our topic today is Super Tuesday, and it's going to be McCain against either Obama or Hillary Clinton. And I'm wondering who you think is going to be running in November, and who do you think will be the ultimate president of the United States? Hello, you're on the air.
Hello? I just wanted to say I love your show. I listen all the time. I was wondering, though, I have a recipe here, and I need to find some yeast cakes. And I was wondering if anybody knew where I could get some yeast cakes.
Show over. done. If you don't believe me, try it. I'm not saying specifically to call KRLA, but you know the kind of stations on AM radio I'm talking about. Seriously. Ruin the show immediately.
Did you feel it? There's an earthquake. I just felt an earthquake. Did you feel it? I wonder if anybody else felt it. It was kind of a rolling motion. I'll hang up and listen.
Show over.
I think the epicenter was somewhere over here in Toluca Lake.
Done. Show over. You can ruin any AM talk show by doing things like that. If you can do a good old person's voice. See, I was on the radio in Miami, Florida, and before that, Albany, New York, the home of many, many very old people. And so I mastered the impression of an old person. I have called in on countless radio shows as an old person.
I was wondering what other films Orson Welles made besides Citizen Kane. I'll hang up and
So, just a word of advice to the crank callers. Don't waste your time on this show. You call one of the other shows on AM radio, and I guarantee they will let you finish what you're saying. And when they hang up, the phones will be flooded with old people calling in to report from the local weather station or to tell you whether boric acid can get rid of cockroaches or whatever question you want to ask. They will tell you. They will be calling in. 1-800-5800-TOM. And in case you're just tuning in, you probably are not going to believe what I'm about to say. But the
What's
subject.
Your topic tonight? Anyway?
Thank you. I'll get right to that now. The question is here. Why women, and it's for women only this hour, the question is why women say don't use a condom. Don't use a condom. Why do they do that? 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Nicole on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
long-time listener, first-time caller.
I think you're totally right. I was raised, to put it this way, and my aunt is Little Egypt, the famous burlesque dancer. If you go to Palms Restaurant in Beverly Hills, you see a whole wall dedicated to her.
Uh-huh.
Now, in my family, we were raised that it doesn't matter how smart you are. You're beautiful. You find a rich man, you have a baby, and then you'll have an income for the rest of your life. And what I told my family is I think that they're glorified whores. That's all they are. All these women that call up, they're sick. They're nuts. The whole thing about, I'm allergic to latex and stuff. Well, what do they do when they go to the doctor's office and get a pap smear? The doctor wears latex gloves. You know, they do. They want to get pregnant. So they think they have an income. They got easy street for the rest of their lives. You know, it's terrible. They're nothing but glorified whores, I'm telling you.
That's right. Glorified whores.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I was married twice, and I didn't collect any alimony or child support from either one of my ex-husbands.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Why didn't I knock you up, for God's sake?
Huh?
Why didn't I knock you up, for God's sake?
Yeah, huh? Really? Well, now I got my tubes tied, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. But, I'm always dragging my man to bed, always.
Really?
Oh, yeah, constantly. Are you kidding me? I want it. I mean, he's got no problem with me at all. I mean, I'm constantly dragging him off to the bedroom. Hell, I don't even have to wait for the bedroom. I do it in the car with him.
You sound like you're ready. You sound like you're ready to go right now.
I'm always ready to go. Are you kidding me?
Really?
I'm always ready to go.
By the way, attention advertisers. You, too, can reach this prime demographic.
Yeah. I constantly listen to your show. My Aunt Neva up in Seattle, she listens to you all the time as well.
Really?
Yeah, she loves you. She thinks you're so right. Her and I talk about you all the time, after the day's show.
Is she also hot to try?
Oh, yeah. Oh, she definitely. Are you kidding me?
What's the ethnic background in your family?
I'm Hawaiian, Italian, Portuguese, and a little bit American Indian.
A lot of heat in there.
But you know what's funny is because I'm Hawaiian, Italian, and Portuguese, normally those people are short and fat. Right?
Yeah.
I'm 5'9". I weigh 113 pounds. I got a flat stomach. I got
big eyes, big lips, big boobs, little waist, little butt, long legs.
Really? How do you look at a grass skirt?
No, oh, hell no. We don't. I know. You know what's funny is everybody thinks that you wear grass skirts in Hawaii and stuff. One girl thought we lived in grass huts. I said, no, we have normal homes like everybody else, you know. I just used to talk funny when I first moved up here, you know.
I see.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
but I love it here, and you're so right. I mean, so many of these girls are like, or the ones that make you date them forever and they don't put out, they won't even let you see flash, they won't even flash you.
Oh, hey, we're on the air.
No, I'm sorry.
What do you think this is, your bedroom? Come on.
Huh?
Never mind, go ahead.
No, because I like girls as well. I bring girls home for my boyfriend.
Is that so?
Oh, yeah. And we're not talking, you know, these, like, girls with, like, 1-inch dark.
So that only looks like a grass skirt.
Well, yeah, no, not one that looks like a grass skirt. I mean, my girls that I've brought home have been in Playboy and stuff. Like, I know 2 Lisas that have been in Playboy. The whole problem, though, is when I'm falling asleep, they're falling in love.
Oh, boy. So you can't let that happen.
No, heck no.
Got to keep one eye pried open.
Yep, I always tell them, I've got an early appointment, you know, in the morning. I have to run off, too. You know, I get them out of there as quick as I can. But it's funny because my boyfriend takes pictures. So we have, you know, he's got a whole stack of pictures.
If you ever decide to bring a guy in, let me know.
Oh, I always do. I don't like doing girls by myself. To me, that's boring. I need a man there.
All right.
You know?
Well, you got my number.
Yes, I do, honey.
Thank you, darling.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
My take on your listener base is that they are very subpar in the intelligence IQ department. And
you know, it's got to be a problem to have low self-esteem the way you do. You really should not see yourself that way. I mean, I'm sure you're much more intelligent than you give yourself credit for.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show, 1-800-5800-TOM. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of the program. Here we are together again on the radio from Hollywood, California. And now, we continue with your calls at 1-800-5800-TOM. We are talking about why women say, lose the condom, lose it. And all the callers are women this hour, 1-800-5800-866. Jessica on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Jessica.
How are you?
I'm good.
I had a comment on your whole condom thing.
Yeah.
I think if a guy is not a little kid and he can hold himself, it's okay.
Darling, you don't know about the physical properties of a man. No man can completely hold himself back. It can't be done.
Well, I've been with my boyfriend for 4 years, and it's totally been done for 4 years.
No, you've been lucky for 4 years. If you ever read any material on birth control, they will tell you that the pull-out method, as they like to call it, does not work and is not reliable. If you have not gotten pregnant, it is simply because you've been lucky.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, why don't... Yeah, oh, no. Don't take my word for it. Go to PlannedParenthood.org or any website about birth control. Don't take my word for it. You just don't know what you're doing, and you've been lucky so far. And why aren't you using birth control?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You want to have a baby.
No, I don't.
Well, weren't you the reason?
I don't want to have a baby, just I know my man's not a little kid. He doesn't want to have a baby either. And I know that he could handle it. You know what I mean?
So then why, all these years, why didn't you consider using birth control? I don't get it.
Because they have side effects, really bad side effects.
Darling, there's 11 different forms of birth control, and they're not all the same. They're all different.
Well, one time I did this shot thing, and then that was all right. But then, I don't know, a couple of my girlfriends are on birth control, and they said that they...
Darling, birth control is not just a pill. Birth control is any method of birth control. A condom is birth control.
Uh-huh.
Birth control.
Okay, Tom, well, I appreciate it.
Wait. I'm not letting you go. Why aren't you, like, looking into this?
I am going to look into this today.
Understand. Stop having sex with your boyfriend without birth control. You are not going to be lucky forever. You're not.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and it can change tonight, you see? It only takes once.
Yeah.
You understand that?
Yeah.
That means you have to do something about this immediately or stop having sex until you do something.
Okay. I will, Tom. I take your advice seriously.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Well,
my boyfriend says he wishes you were his dad.
Shut your mouth.
Okay, sorry.
Come on, you knew you can't say that word on the air.
Yeah, that's true.
So why'd you say it?
Sorry.
It's painful sometimes. Painful. Oh, now, guys, look at the calls on the screen right now. Which call do you think I'm going to take next? I'm surprised you didn't take it earlier. You have any idea? Art? 3? Yeah. Gary? 3. Yeah, I am. Kira, on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello?
Is that a question or a statement?
That is a statement. Hello.
Hello.
I've been listening just for about 25 minutes because I just got off work. And I was kind of astounded at the responses that I was getting from everybody. I mean, I think that this is kind of a very simple answer. The reason why women say to take off a condom when they are in the throes of it or whatever is a purely hedonistic view. It's not thinking about the future, which is, you're absolutely right, very stupid. But the other thing is that, and I know that you're talking about Planned Parenthood and stuff like that, but it's actually not that easy to get pregnant. I mean, physically, it is very difficult. Now, I know a lot of accidents happen, and therefore they do.
That is why the previous caller using the pull-out method for 4 years is calling up saying, oh, it works. It works, Tom. It works.
Right.
Because...
Which is stupid.
But the point is, getting pregnant is like the lottery, okay? Chances are, if you buy a lottery ticket on any given day, you're going to lose.
Right.
But everybody's bought a scratcher ticket and won some more scratcher tickets at some point in time.
And the whole point is, okay, now what you were talking about earlier, which kind of, I would disagree with, is that, like most women, I don't think expect men to actually go through and take care of them or marry them or anything like that. I mean, I think most women that at least, I know we're talking generally here.
Generally that's not true. I've been doing this talk show for so long, I've gotten so many calls. I have seen the news stories about men who are being chased down for child support. I mean, come on.
In terms of paying for the child.
Right. Here's an example. Here's an example. Let's take celebrities. Somebody whose name I can't remember, who apparently was a Playboy playmate, announced that she's having David Spade's kid. Now, here's the thing. You would presume that a Playboy playmate would have her own money, would have her own career. And by the way, we don't know if it's David Spade's kid or not, but she says it is. And here's the thing. If she has the money and she has a career and she's independent, why does she need to make that announcement?
Well, it's, Michael Jackson,
No, she's making the announcement because the next announcement is going to be, and you better live up to your responsibilities, pal, and I have an attorney.
Right.
That's
that's what I mean.
That's what's going to happen next.
Well, and that goes to the whole point of the man.
But how many stories like that? How many stories like that do we hear?
Yeah, but that's what you hear about. I mean, the fact of the matter is that, you have plenty of people that go out, they're stupid, they get pregnant, and they
I'm not saying these women want to get married to the guys they're having sex with. They want the men to pay.
And I think that happens, but I also think that there are a lot of women who take responsibility for their
There are some women who take responsibility. Most of them are in their late 30s or their 40s when they've given up any hope of getting a decent man.
Yeah, but what if the
statistics on that, really. I mean, we're talking about generalities here, but
we have to because we're broadcasting to a broad audience of broads like yourself.
But what are the statistics behind that of women who actually chase after men and go for...
I don't know that you can actually get reliable statistics. It's anecdotal evidence. It's what people tell you. It's what people tell me. It's what I hear at parties. It's what people call in with on the radio.
Well, my point is that that's what people
So you think the vast majority of women who get into bed with a guy and say, get rid of the condom, I want to feel you. Then they get knocked up. They don't call the guy. They don't want him to support them. They want to have babies without the guy being around, and they just want to take care of them by themselves without any financial support. That's the vast majority of women.
But that always goes back to your
I'm asking,
point.
yes or no. We'll go back to my point in a minute. Yes or no. Is that what you're telling me?
No, I would not say a vast majority, but I wouldn't say a vast majority on the other side either, because we're talking about anecdotal evidence. I would probably say that a lot of...
Well, here's the deal. If you want to have a baby, why wouldn't you go get artificially inseminated? Go to a sperm bank. Then you control the genetics. You control the, the family history. You don't have to have sex with a stranger and run the risk of, sexually transmitted diseases.
Okay, I see your point.
The reason women do this is because a Petri dish can't pay child support.
Why is it then, though, that the men are listening?
Have you ever tried to collect child support from a turkey baster?
But then my question is, why is it a woman's responsibility, or why, if they are, like you're saying, preying on men in order for them to pay for their raising a baby, which I think is crazy because, any women who've ever raised children, I was raised by a single mother. It's
on the air. You can't use that word.
Sorry.
Every call now, we have to bleep. It's out of control.
Sorry, I'm a foul mouth. But my question is, it's the responsibility of the man, too. He shouldn't be doing it.
That's not the point. We're not talking about that. Again, whether guys shouldn't, the question is, what is the motivation of women who say that? And I say the motivation is they want to have a baby.
I say the motivation is hedonistic and taking chances, like going to Vegas and, like you say, playing the lottery. I think it's at the moment.
Yeah, but if they lose at the craps table, they're going to call your attorney and say, I want money.
Or are they going to have an abortion?
But they have no. The abortion went down last year. Less women are having abortions. More women are having live births. Live births went up. Abortions went down.
It's a lot harder to get abortions these days.
Well,
a lot more heat in the press. It is true.
Well, I'm telling you, I think these women want to have babies, and they want to have babies with somebody they can then harass for the next 20 years.
I do. I think that's a little bit hard. I do. I think that's hard on women, and I think it's more than just a generalization. It's almost a condescending generalization.
Well, that's how I see women after years and years of experience, darling. I thank you for the call. Our email address is my name. It's Tom at blowmeuptom.com. It's Tom at blowmeuptom.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.